So this here is the Raddy emergency solar crank radio, SH-906. So let's have a look and see what is in the box, shall we? There you go, it's nicely packed, nice foam. There's the unit there. You have a cord there and a USB charging cord. Plus a manual, which is quite extensive, although in different languages. So if we just look at just the English part, 25 pages of English, there we go. So that's all the English part there. Well, let's have a look and see what it does. All right, so there's the front of the unit. It's quite small. Solar panel on top, antenna. There's your rotary thing. We'll look at that later. Torch at the front with a couple of LED extra lights as well. The torch is LED as well. Oh, I've hit buttons there already. There it is. You can see the battery level there. It's charging a little bit from the solar already. And at the end here, under the flap here, we've got where we plug in our charging cable. 2 USB ports. And that's where we can plug our auxiliary input in there if we wish to. So the first thing I always do with a unit like this is to charge it up fully, give it a good charge so we can make sure that we're up to 100%. So that's what the screen looks like when it's charging. You can see the battery indicator going up, and just beside the charger input there, the blue light flashes until it's fully charged. Okay, so we're back. Let's have a look. We can see here battery symbol is full, and also the blue light is no longer flashing, so that means it's fully charged. So let's unplug this and see what we can make it do. Okay, we've unplugged it. See the green light is on there, so we can put this back on and that'll keep it nice and protected. It does have a solar panel on the top here. Got lots of buttons on the front, lights on the front, and a cranking arm with an antenna there. So there are 3 ways to charge the battery up. We've shown you one with the USB charger, but there are 3. The second way is with the solar panel, and I'm surprised how little light it needs to charge the battery. The third way is with the cranking arm, and I'll show you this now. So you just pull out here, comes out with this little handle, and then you just crank it slowly in one direction or the other direction. Doesn't matter which way you do it, as long as it's the same direction and a continuous speed. So if you're stuck camping somewhere and there's no light and it's in the middle of the night, you can do that. So the torch button is here next to the solar panel. So you can press it once, and what it will do, it'll press it once, and what it will do, it'll turn on the display. As you can see there, just from the little light that's coming through, it's actually charging the battery like that. So that's pretty cool. So like I said, you press it once and it turns the display on. Press it again and it turns the light on. Press it again and it's a lot brighter. Press it again, and now we're showing Morse code SOS. So that's S, 3 quick flashes, O, and then S. So down the bottom here is a SOS button. So if you press it once, it turns on the display. Press it a second time, it doesn't do much, but if you press it just for 2 seconds, it puts on red and blue flashing lights. And then if you hold it down, that is very loud. So this button here is the power button. So if you press that once, it turns the display on. Most buttons do that. Press it again. And press it again, it's off. So there we go, that's how you can turn on and off the radio. So to change the volume, you just press the volume button here. There we go, we're on volume 0 there. You see the signal strength across the top of the station that we're listening to. To tune to another station, you can press the tune button here to manually go up or down, or you can tune and it'll search until it finds the next station, just like that. The band button here will switch between FM, AM and shortwave, medium wave and FM. So we go FM, AM, shortwave, that's 3.1 megahertz. Medium wave, VHF, sorry, that's 30 megahertz. And medium wave there, so that's 1.6 megahertz. And again, we can search there. I might turn the volume up as we find something. Let's see if we can find something. In fact, I've got an antenna here which will help. I'll put that up. Let's see if we can find something. So this has a sleep function as well. So if you long press the power button, you can see, and I'm just pressing the power button to change how many minutes you want it to sleep for. And there we go, and now it will sleep for that time. So I've got the radio on at the moment, as you can see on the screen there. I've got the volume down because hopefully you want to listen to me. But down the bottom here is memory scan. So if you long press that for 2 seconds, what it will do, it will scan in the frequency range that we're in. So we're currently in FM, and it will automatically store anything it finds. There are 99 memories for each band, so if we want to, we can go to AM and do the same, and the other bands here, shortwave, and the other bands there. So say I like this station and I want to make sure it's in one, so you can manually set it as well. So I just press the memo button here just for 1 second, comes up with the next default channel. I can choose whatever channel I like. So there's 0 to 99, so there's actually 100 channels. So I'm going to put that in memory channel 0, and there we go, that's saved in there, preset to 0. So as I said before, we're in FM. If I press the band button here, I can go through to shortwave. Now shortwave is quite a long range. It's 3.95 megahertz to 4.75 megahertz to 5.6 megahertz to 7.35 megahertz to 9.9 megahertz to 12.1 megahertz to 13.87 to 15.8 to 17.8 to 19, 10 to 21.83. And if you don't remember that, that's okay, it's in the manual. But how do you jump between them all? So I can manually go here, and it's going to take me forever to get to, I guess, 21 megahertz. However, there is an easy way. All you've got to do is press this button here, and it will jump. So I've just jumped to 5, to 7, to 9, to 12, to 13, 15, 17, 19, and 21, and then I'm back to 3 again. So again, you can search these bands and see if you can find anything, and when you do, you can then save it in one of the 100 memory channels for the shortwave areas. So one thing that I've found is you can't plug in an external antenna, which is a bit of a shame. However, I've always found, because we're just receiving, if you do have an external, like a bigger antenna, you can just wrap the cable around it and it will probably work well. So because we're receiving, we're not transmitting, I don't think we're going to damage anything at all. So you might want to change the bandwidth that you're receiving. So when you're in clock mode here, press any button to bring it back. There we go. You just hold the CH2 negative down, and then you can, while it's down, you can change the bandwidth to quite a big range. That's what do we listen to? Narrow FM there. That's wide FM, so that's more the stations that like the. That's more like the at 100. So wide FM is more the stations that the radio stations type things with perhaps music or talking and stuff. So yeah, you might need to change the bandwidth if you're not receiving the station well. Maybe you've got it selected too small. What that means, the bigger the bandwidth, the more you receive. So with just audio talking, like amateur radio, you only need a small bandwidth because it's just one person talking. But for music, you've got a whole range of notes, so you need quite a wider bandwidth. So I'll show you the sleep mode again. So the power sleep mode, hold it down. We'll choose, say, 90 minutes, and you can see there the little symbol of the person sleeping. So it'll automatically switch off in 90 minutes. So here we are in VFO mode. So again, if you press this button here, it'll take you through the frequencies, and it's quite a range: 30, 70, 90, 110, 130, 50, 170, 90, back to 30. So quite a range there. I'll put the ranges in the description below. So you can attach by Bluetooth, and that's this button here. So if you press that button there, that is actually BT, Bluetooth. You can see the Bluetooth symbol here flashing, and you can connect, it'll be called SH-906 when you connect to it. So if you want to change tracks and stuff, you can do that via this button once you're connected. And once it disconnects, it'll say Bluetooth disconnected, and it'll obviously say Bluetooth connected when it's connected as well. So to get out of that mode, you can just go to back to band, and then you're back on the radio. So you can also plug a USB in here and play music via USB. You can skip tracks with the tuning button there, and of course your volume stays there in all modes. You can also plug in via the cable that I showed you in here as well. So there's a few options around. The other thing you can do is do the Equaliser mode. So let's give that a try. So if we long press that, here we go, we got Equaliser 1, Equaliser 2. You can see that's a bit different. So while playing with the Equaliser, the E1 is normal, so that's what I'm going to leave mine on. E2 is pop, E3 is rock, E4 is jazz, E5 is country, is classic, and E6 is country apparently. There's a cool reading light here too, so all you got to do is just lift this up, and that is a very bright light. See, there's no switch to even use it, and then you can read a book or whatever under that light, or light up your campsite or wherever you are. So it has a frequency range depending upon what country you're in, but the funny thing about it is you can actually change what country you're in on it easily. So press the button, so that's clock, the display turns on. Long press the CH plus button, you see we've got 87 there, and you can change between 87, 86, 64 and 87.5, and that'll change you between each country depending upon what frequency range you want. And there's quite a bit of frequency range difference in some of the bands, but the majority of them are the same. So the radio also has NOAA, a weather alert function, but we don't have that here in Australia, so I can't really show you that. But it does tell you the weather, and if you press the SOS button, it'll even broadcast the weather if there is a weather alert, which is pretty cool. To lock the radio so you don't bump it or hit it or whatever, let's turn down the volume. Just press this button here with the key lock, pretty simple. And then you can see the key lock is locked there. So that's pretty simple. So to change the time, that is definitely not the right time. So let's go back to clock function. There's the clock there. And you can see here the button says time. So if we hold that, and there we go, we can change the time. So 10:28 here. If we long press it, it'll jump a bit quicker. There we go. And that's done. We might go 12-hour time. Done. So this radio has an alarm feature here, which is you hold and press that button there, and it'll turn on either a buzzing sound, I don't know how people wake up to a buzzing sound, or to music. And you can even set how long you want that radio station or whatever to last for, and if you're really game you can make it never turn off, and you have to turn it off yourself manually. So like I said, here's the antenna here. You can the manual says you can connect an external antenna. I'm not quite sure how. Maybe, like I said, you wrap it around here, but I can't see any plug for it anywhere unless I'm missing something. This is good for all the bands except AM, incidentally. AM, there's actually an antenna inside the radio. So one other thing you can do is you can actually charge your device. So I've got a device here that's plugged into this cord here, and it's just a normal USB plug there, and I'm going to plug that into here and we'll see if we can charge it. Plug it in, and there we go, it's starting to charge that device there. Yeah, so there's two USB here. So this one is the one that you want to put in your USB auxiliary if you want to put in your something to play. This one here will charge the device, and this one here will charge this unit, this radio. This plug here is where you can put audio in or audio out from that. I guess the last thing I want to mention is the manual. I found it quite easy to read, especially the first part. The rest of it's in a different language, so that was a little bit harder for me, but I just stuck to the first part, and I found it quite good. There's a good description on the front here that shows you what all the buttons do. So if you want to pause and have a look at that, there's quite a lot of different things it does there. And then on the side, the front, what buttons are on it, and so forth. So yeah, quite a lot of information. Also tells you all the screen. Very easy to read and well written. So I'm quite pleased with the manual.
Here's a little bit of what I managed to pick up while scanning, just using the antenna that came with the radio.
Take back up. No, we'll do the job first, I think. It's event 623-9865. Patients on 2 North at Ballarat Base Hospital, going back to Oxley Ward at Horsham, and diagnosis of...
They're requesting you on a code 1, patient heart rate of 30. No 6.
So in summary, it's a great radio. I really like it. It's robust, it seems strong, and it's built for camping or just around the house. It's a shame that it doesn't have an antenna connector or do digital radio stations. But hey, for the price that it is, I think it's a great radio. It doesn't look like you can update the firmware on it, but maybe it doesn't need updating. I got mine from Radio Diddy, and I've put a link below that will give you a discount. Please like and subscribe, and thank you for watching. Put your comments below if you have any. Thanks.